Yes, EnVision are not out of this, but given how things have shaped up here against FNRGFE, in honestly a matchup that I think a lot of folks favored EnVision on because of how well they've been performing, this is a pretty shocking situation.
Well, we were talking a little bit during the break, and I was like, does EnVision have like a playoff spot like locked up? And you look right now, they're 4-0, right? You know, a very good spot, but they have very tough games coming up next. Like, let's say for argument's sake, they lose this series. They play Envy, tomorrow, and then they also play FaZe in their last week. So potentially you could look at like an 0-3 finish from this team, which would bring them down to 4-3. Argument's sake, to make it interesting. Rogue beats Envious. They finish at 4-3. You can have also FNRGFE. Now they play Rogue. They play Renegades after this. They're in the final week, so you can see them finish at 4-3 as well. And Rogue already has as many map wins as EnVision, so it can get very scary for EnVision.
It comes down to, I think, honestly, if FNRGFE win this, I said it before,
they're
safe.
a great spot.
I think they're safer than most because they would have beaten Rogue and they would have beaten EnVision. So that's it. They win
the
the
final week and you play against Renegades.
Yeah, which, I mean, not to be that guy, but
you're going to be that guy. Anytime you say something and then you say but, you're going to do or be what you were at the beginning, which you were that guy, and I respect it.
What's that the thing where it's not to offend you, but then they say something very offensive.
Yeah, it's like that doesn't make it not offensive.
Yeah, it doesn't change the situation there. So I think, either way though, FNRGFE are in a really good position here. And,
providing they win the series.
Providing they win the series, especially if they win 4-0, this is not going to look that great for the Frenchmen.
EnVision will be on offense here. You'll see Jaru pick up the 76 yet again. So I've not seen Jaru on the Genji. It's what he's been so dominant on, and you see the effects here for EnVision as McGrady will pick up the Tracer. Nothing else too surprising from the side of EnVision. And then look out for Bonnie on the Sombra. He's made a big impact for this FNRGFE team on Volskaya Industries in particular.
Yeah, and already got that hack off on Tasani too, so kind of just slowed things just a tad for a second here as they're looking to make the cross now. Get back over to the high ground. Very traditional setup from what we've seen in the past. You always get this here. Players like to push that high ground with the 76, really work with the Zenyatta in those situations. No pick just yet, though. And looking at the health so far, FNRGFE, they're in a bit of a pickle here as they have a couple more members lower, but Bonnie will have that EMP available.
Yeah, you do have the EMP. Coolmat will get demeched here, and he will fall. So you wonder when the EMP comes out. There it is. Now the push comes from FNRGFE. Muma will take out Goliath, so you lose the Discord Orb from the Zenyatta on the side of EnVision. Some kills being exchanged from both sides. You have EnVision getting very close here to a sound barrier.
Very, very close. And if they're able to do that, maybe, they opt to use that one for this next fight. I mean, it does seem as if FNRGFE want to continue to scramble here onto the point, maybe delay it out, but Muma and Clockwork are going to fall there, and there you see it right there, the blue on the screen, FNRGFE wisely enough backing away. First point going to EnVision.
Yeah, you demech Coolmat at the beginning, you then obviously lose the defense matrix, you're able to have Jaru on the 76, stay on the high ground, really uncontested, because now you're worrying about a lot of the players on the point. You're able to take it pretty easily there if you are EnVision, and we'll see how EnVision decides to go here on the attack. They're actually in a pretty good spot because you know that Boink did not have enough time to build up towards a sound barrier. Bonnie does not have an EMP, or also, I mean, you're putting down some damage here, giving him a decent chance, but you have both of your support ults, you have Attack Visor and a Pulse Bomb. They're going to lead the way here with the sound barrier. They're going to get Buds, though, out of the equation here as he actually had his Dragon Blade. That's a big kill.
Yeah, and the thing about Assault is that you want to be able to wipe out as many members as you possibly can because you are going to have that defender's advantage, and so far so good for EnVision. Muma, though, he is going to use the Primal Rage to try and stall things out, and now you're starting to see some kills coming out for the side of FNRGFE as they're trying to maintain this and stabilize onto the point here, shut down anyone. You also have Numlocked, who's using his Primal Rage as well to try and delay this and look for him to just get picked off in just a little bit. EnVision, they're just going to abandon ship on this. They don't get that first tick.
And I thought that was going to go poorly for FNRGFE.
Me too, me too.
No, Buds falls before he can make anything happen with his Dragon Blade. Both support ults come out from the side of EnVision. You see Bonnie, though, comes out of the spawn, uses the EMP. Now they get some kills with the Dragon Blade. And EnVision, they invested a ton into that fight, right? Both support ults, your Primal Rage, your Attack Visor as well. Now Jaru is going to bring out the Genji.
You just have to wipe them, right? Like that's the challenging part, especially on Volskaya, because that that spawn point is so close to the second, to point B, that you need to just be all over them and shut them down time and time again. It's very hard to do here. But we'll see now as EnVision are looking for that first pick at this point. There goes the EMP though, and EnVision, I mean, those health bars are just drained at that point. Jaru's pretty much near death at that. And this is going to be EnVision stopped yet again. EMP shuts him down, and they don't need to invest all that much into the fight. EMP will do just fine.
Yeah, what FNRGFE will do after this is they'll just push a little bit further out. They'll take some damage, try and get a little bit further on the EnVision guys, then go all the way back, take the health off of those health packs that Bonnie has hacked, get him closer and closer towards another EMP. And now when he gets the EMP, it'll be very difficult to gauge for the side of EnVision when you want to use that sound barrier.
Yeah, it's going to be quite the challenging situation for them to be in. The EMP is going to go out, though, as Bonnie was just being pressured inside of the Mega Health Pack. Cool Matt with the kill onto Goliath. Fire will have the sound barrier in just a second. Do they opt to use it, or do they recognize that this is just not a push that will work out in their favor? Well, they do manage to get the kill there onto Clockwork, and they're going to keep going with the attack. Sound barrier on the other side, though, actually on both sides here, as they're all just looking to scramble onto the point now. Buzz with the Dragon Blade, cuts through a couple folks there, manages to take out McGravy, and kills on the side of FNRGFE are looking pretty solid thus far as they hold him off yet again.
Yeah, you knew you were safe to use the sound barrier for the side of EnVision because you just saw Bonnie use the EMP, but you had lost Goliath, so you did not have that secondary support ult to stay alive long enough on the point. You also invested a Dragon Blade into that fight for EnVision. Now coming in, you'll have your Primal Rage, you'll have your Transcendence. You got to get something out of this Transcendence. Or, I mean, you're going to be looking at waiting another minute or two to get your sound barrier. Another EMP coming out here for Bonnie, and the kills just go right away in favor of FNRGFE. They have had no answer for the Sombra play from FNRGFE.
They play around this so well. FNRGFE are fantastic with the Sombra. They are building up ult so quickly. I mean, look at this. They just used it, and already Bonnie's going to be at 40%, and they're just going to build this up so quickly in this next fight. It's amazing.
They do damage on Muma, and then he just goes all the way back towards that health pack. They get some damage onto Goliath. That's going to force a really early Transcendence, as now they're pretty much just forced EnVision to run right to the point.
Well, they're going to drop the Pulse Bomb there. It doesn't get a kill, but Muma's able to take out Goliath on that one. Cool Matt with the Diva self-destruct as well. If he does get DMEC, we'll use that to just clear people away. And they're just shutting them down little by little. There goes, and actually I would say, there goes the Diva Bomb, pushing folks out. You also have that EMP come into play there as well. And now the kills start to trickle through for FNRGFE as they maintain control. Jaru just not able to get anything going. And this is yet another stop. And FNRGFE, they're putting on a clinic here.
Now EnVision makes some changes. McGravy will go off of the Tracer to Reaper, so Reaper's still very effective when he gets EMP'd. Just uses those shotguns, puts down a ton of damage. Goliath will switch from Zenyatta over to the Ana here, so we'll see if they can get anything going. Now all you have is your sound barrier. You know that we just saw the side of FNRGFE use their EMP. It'll be a Dragon Blade that comes out for Buds, and it's going to be a lot of aggression coming out here, and Fire's going to be forced to use his sound barrier.
Yeah, just to try and stabilize and keep themselves in this fight. And, they haven't lost anyone quite yet, though. They just need to make sure that they can maintain the tanks onto the point here. But for FNRGFE, they're going to back up, and Bonnie once again gets the EMP. Clockwork's able to get the kill there onto Goliath, who was dangerously close to the nano boost on that play. And more kills once again for FNRGFE. As McGravy, yeah, sure, you have the Reaper, but he's just getting nothing really out of this one besides a kill onto Buds. He has to jump off. They need to reset because they have less than a minute.
Now you're in a tough way if you're EnVision. You have Jaru with the Dragon Blade, but you don't have a sound barrier. You're going to get very close to a nano boost and a Death Blossom here, but you don't have a big support ult, like a sound barrier or a Transcendence to really get through a lot of the damage that's going to come from the side of FNRGFE. FNRGFE, they're going to use their EMP early. They're going to get aggressive. Now you may never see Jaru get anything out of this Dragon Blade, but now FNRGFE, they're going to be forced to fall back. This is their best opportunity to push. It's going to be a nano-boosted Dragon Blade coming in for EnVision.
Yeah, and Muma knows that he is basically in a really bad position here. Barely any health remaining. Still manages, though, to stay alive. The Diva Bomb comes through. No kills quite yet onto Commentators, but they just want to go ahead and shut down that D.Va as quickly as they possibly could. 10 seconds are going to remain on the clock here. They finally get that kill onto Muma. There goes the Death Blossom as well to push people away. Clockwork's going to fall victim of that one. And so far, so good for EnVision. But remember, that Defender's advantage is going to be very prevalent in this fight as we go into overtime. One wipe, and that will basically be curtains. There goes the EMP, but where's the follow-up? Are they going to be able to get the kills here? Asani will be sitting at half health, and it's just going to be nothing but members of FNRGFE swarming around the D.Va, and this is dire straits for EnVision as they wanted to see if they can at least get 2 ticks out of this one, a little bit more progress, but all they're able to get is 1 tick. So at the very least, you were able to make that one happen, but FNRGFE playing around that Sombra, so impressive.
And Buds, towards the later half of the game, switches over to Doomfist, and when the pressure starts to come towards the point, Doomfist still very effective. You have a lot of walls over there towards point B. You're able to get the one-shot kills. But at the beginning of that last fight, Fire falls, and he's at like 89%. Maybe if he stays alive a little bit longer, you're able to build up towards that sound barrier. He gets it at the end and starts to come back from his respawn, but not able to come back, use that sound barrier effectively. So a good hold on defense for FNRGFE. We expected that, though, with how much success they've had running the Sombra.
Well, now you're going to see EnVision, and keep in mind, this is EnVision's pick. They went for Volskaya, so, they had a plan of attack here, and, we're going to see them play around the Sombra, potentially, which, I mean, I don't know. If you're FNRGFE, surely you're expecting this.
You would think. Just how they're going to attack it. Whether you want to go to that left side high ground and put your 76, which it looks like Buds will be taking into this one, in a good position to do some damage from above, or you can go towards that right-hand side, deny this EnVision from getting that mega health pack, and then it's going to be very tough to build towards that EMP. So I think you do have some decisions for FNRGFE here on offense. By what we've seen from most teams, I would say they're going to go for that left-hand side high ground and then let Clockwork kind of rotate around that middle hut, try and get some picks. I think that'll probably be what you see.
It's fun to see Doomfist, when you'd push on the right and just punish them through the corridors. Those are always just some good times, man. Feels like it was just last week.
Yeah. Feels like it was just last week we saw Doomfist in every game. Now we see him on a rare
here
occasion.
And there.
Situational.
Yeah, but now, folks, for FNRGFE, 1 point and a little bit of progress on point B, and then that will do it. They will win this series 3-0, and then we, of course, as we always do, we finish through with the rest of it. But for EnVision, a hold here would be huge. They have a game plan, or at the very least, I'm hoping to have a game plan. This is their pick. Let's see this push coming out of FNRGFE. As you had said it, Matt, they're just going to go ahead and charge to the left side.
I think if you're EnVision, you have, I was going to say, if you lose this first fight, like really fast, it's not going to be good for EnVision, because now you're going to allow FNRGFE to build up on some ultimates. They just need to get, really, 1 tick on the next point, a little bit more. And now, look, you're going to push up. They're going to deny them access to this health pack.
Yeah, they're just going to try and shut down the Sombra before Goliath can get anything going there, meeting them right at the doorway. They are going to get this cap coming. It happened a little bit slower because they didn't have as many bodies onto the point, but already you're starting to see that aggression come through for FNRGFE as they look to set their sights on point B.
And now EnVision in the next fight, they're probably only going to have an EMP. You're going to be forced to use it. FNRGFE can just build up some more ultimates. They don't really need to spend anything once they get it. So here's going to be the EMP. EnVision, you expect them to just kind of run right through them. But now the next fight's going to be great. FNRGFE, you're going to have your sound barrier, you're going to get a Transcendence, you're going to have Pulse Bomb. So you're going to have some things to work with, and you're not going to have to worry about that EMP.
Yeah, it's just about getting there as quickly as they possibly can. They know how long it takes to build up on the Sombra EMP. They didn't apply a lot of damage, so if they're guessing, they're probably like, okay, we're sitting around like maybe 40% gained on the EMP here because we haven't put that much pressure onto them. So here we go, this fight, FNRGFE, they're getting really close to these support ult X.
And that allows you, if you're FNRGFE, to lead the way with a sound barrier, not worry that the shields are going to get negated. It's McGravy here on the flank, trying to pick up some kills. There's the Transcendence comes in from FNRGFE. Clockwork with a big Pulse Bomb.
They're already able to get 3 kills on there. You lose out on Fire, who is also getting close to the sound barrier. And while you do get that 1 kill onto Muma, remember, all it takes is just that 1 golden tick, and they're able to make it happen. FNRGFE will win. And they are up 3-0. They take the series. And things have just gotten very interesting in North American Contenders, especially if you are Rogue and EnVision, because now your playoff chances are very blurry.
We saw towards the end there, it was Goliath who was still alive, and he actually built up the EMP, just not able to translocate back towards the point in time to get the EMP off and contest. But fantastic map from FNRGFE. The second half, kind of when you saw them take point A, and then you saw the EMP come out at the beginning of that first fight, you kind of thought that that's how things were going to go in the second one. You had the support ults, you had your TAC visor, the pulse bomb came out in a big way there from Clockwork.
Yeah, they just... When you saw the way that you know, Bonnie and the crew played around EMP, they'll use it, but then immediately after that, they're getting, you know, maybe 50%, 60% gain on it.
So far
exactly,
out. Yeah.
Because they put the aggression, they force them to have to fight them back, or else they'll just get wiped, and then you're feeding more ult charge to the other team. So either way, like, it was just it was a pick your poison situation when you think about it for FNRGFE, or excuse me, for EnVision, because either they push up, they get aggressive, and then they, you know, kind of screw up on that one, or you end up just dying to the.
Well, they were in an awful position in the second half.
Yeah, they really were. And the fact that they won out so quickly on point A, just that really put them in a bad,
hurt
bad
EnVision
spot.
even more.
Well, guys, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to finish through with this series. While FNRGFE have won with a 3-0 scoreline, we got to finish it through. Let's see if EnVision can get a map win. Any win at this point will be big for this team. When you talk about the players who are sitting, or the teams who are sitting at the bubble, you're not going to want to miss it, and we'll catch you in just a few. Welcome back, everyone. As we look to conclude this matchup, we're going to be taking a trip to Watch Point Gibraltar between FNRGFE and EnVision. X,
yes.
FNRGFE, they're in a great spot now, especially considering they won this series. Yeah,
no, they have a great chance. I know with the way they're playing to get a 4-0, which I don't think a lot of people would have thought coming into this series. If it was going to be an FNRGFE win, it would have been like a close 3-1 or maybe a Game 5. But to get a 4-0 win here against EnVision, it's huge for FNRGFE. It's really poor for EnVision because, I mean, they don't get a map win. And then they have some tough games left against the Envious in FaZe Clan. So you look at those two series with how they're playing here, it's like how many maps they win in those two.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier at this point for EnVision. And I recall at the desk, I think Sideshow was the one who mentioned it, where it's like, yeah, they win on these couple games here, but there's a possibility that they struggle toward the end. I don't think they thought it'd come from FNRGFE, but rather, from FaZe and also from Envy, which are clearly looking like the #1 and #2 in the region. But then again, given how Rogue performed yesterday, that Envy matchup could be Envy Rogue matchup next week that could put everything all topsy-turvy, and then we got
EnVision would have to come out of a loss here, and then they go right up against Envious. So two back-to-back tough games here for EnVision. It'll be EnVision on offense first, so I know we'll let them get situated here before we talk about what they're going to do. So FNRGFE, they're going to have the Sombra again. The only difference is it won't be Bonnie running it, it'll be Buds running it here. And you'll keep both supports. You'll keep your Zenyatta, you'll keep your Lucio here on D.
And Buds, a formidable Sombra as well. Bear that in mind. So for those of you maybe new and joining us, being like, well, they just did so well with Bonnie, why would they not do it? I mean, they've had success with Buds on the Sombra as well in the past.
And here you're going to see EnVision, they'll have Jaru on the Genji, so this is going to be our first real start of a game where Jaru will be running the Genji. We'll see if EnVision can kind of get rolling off of this, as it kind of can't stress it enough. Sideshow talked a little bit about it on the desk, but he has been so good on this hero in NA Contenders Season 1 that I definitely see the effects of him not playing it for this team.
Yeah, good change of pace here to come out the gate with the Genji on Jaru. That's going to, now FNRGFE kind of going back. They're going to take the payload through the car wash here as Jaru pops right behind him. And now you're going to have Bonnie, who's going to be in a really bad spot here. Point 2, he's looking to be the next target that EnVision are going to take down as he charges right to them, Jaru. They get those kills there onto Clockwork as well. Boink's able to get out with his life on this one, but EnVision, though, they're lighting up the kill feed, and this is going to give him free reign to be able to take the payload underneath.
They'll get it through the car wash, but Buds in the next fight for FNRGFE will have the EMP. So you think FNRGFE probably has one decent fight here left. So we see the payload getting closer towards point A. How will FNRGFE make their way back towards the payload? Contest comes in there for a second. McGravy trying to get behind enemy lines here. Just wondering when Buds is going to use this EMP.
I'm looking around to see where he is, and there you have it. So the EMP has been dropped now. Immediately they're able to get the kills necessary onto McGravy and Goliath, demeching the Diva as well. And now you're just going to have Jaru continuing to dance around here, see if he can, get something out of this one, maybe a kill or two, but he is just going to get cleaned up. He needed to die as soon as he possibly could so he can go back with his team. Coming into this next fight, though, it's looking pretty solid, really.
This next fight's going to be huge for both teams, because although EnVision will have their Transcendence, you're getting closer towards the Sound Barrier, you're going to have Dragon Blade, you're going to have Primal Rage. FNRGFE will have both support ults, you'll have your Self-Destruct, and you'll have Clockwork with a Pulse Bomb. A way this could go sideways for EnVision is if Clockwork connects to the Pulse Bomb at the beginning, forces you to wait a little bit longer, because then Buds will be able to build towards another EMP.
Yeah, well, Clockwork needs to be careful, as he was in a bit of a pickle there, pretty low on health as he backs away. And now you're going to have EnVision challenging them, pushing forward. There goes the Transcendence here for EnVision. Pretty good here to just keep them going in this fight, get maybe 1 or 2 picks, but so far nothing coming through. And finally, Boink, he's going to fall, and that's going to open things up wonderfully here for EnVision, because Boink did have that Sound Barrier, did not get a chance to use it, but Muma is able to pick up 2 kills of his own here, X.
Yeah, they body block that doorway, and they're able to take out 2 players of EnVision. FNRGFE still in this fight. They're going to come out of the spawn. They're going to have their own Sound Barrier. They're going to push back EnVision here, and you will not see EnVision get a use of their Dragon Blade. It'll be Coolmat getting demech. Now everybody getting back onto the payload. There's the EMP coming in from Buds.
Yeah, but is there any follow-up here? Well, they are going to be able to demech Saney dangerously close from being able to capture this one. 1.95 meters as they come through the doorway to try and challenge Clockwork, dancing around the payload here. Maybe he keeps himself in a fight, but no, he's going to fall, and that's going to be point A going to EnVision. They put one on the board.
And EnVision doesn't have to use their Dragon Blade there, so now Jaru still has the Dragon Blade. He's able to take out Buds. Just going to force him to go to the spawn here. Numlock's going to be able to take out Boink, so you're going to lose both of these players here for FNRGFE. You'll have one person on the payload, just advancing it a little bit slower, but you have a great opportunity to push them back right now. You see Jaru will fall here. He got very aggressive, but it doesn't really matter. He'll spawn up. He'll come right back with the rest of his teammates. And for the next 6-on-6 fight, Buds now makes a change. He switches over to the Roadhog. So something we saw a little bit yesterday, Roadhog coming back.
Yeah, this is Bren's favorite character. And I know he's so excited to see more and more Roadhog play. Cool Matt with the kill onto Goliath is going to tip the odds in the favor of FNRGFE, but they need to be careful not to lose their tanks here as they're dangerously low. Sound Barrier is going to come out for EnVision to keep them going in this fight, as well as the Dragon Blade, as Jaru's just going to challenge into the back lines here. Cool Matt looking to apply the pressure, but he's just going to get DMEC courtesy of Fire, and now it's really just going to be EnVision who managed to pick up a couple great kills here, but they have to clear out Buds and push his payload around the bend.
Yeah, they're not able to get Buds out of the equation. He's on the payload, just able to stay alive so long as Roadhog. Buds falls, Cool Matt drops as well. Don't have any support ults here to enter with for FNRGFE. They might want to back up here. Looks like Muma, though, getting ready to challenge. It's going to be Clockwork getting onto the cart. Now Muma comes in, as it will be FNRGFE coming back. They get a Transcendence Light.
Pulse Bomb is dropped, and that's going to be a double, and that will certainly hurt for FNRGFE. And while Buds is able to get the kill onto McGravy, really, you have to look at EnVision here, as the odds are definitely in their favor. They're so close to being able to capture the payload, 0.90 meters, and they just sweep right through them. They just got to clear out the remaining members here of FNRGFE, and that will be a cap. And so far, yes, finally, he falls, and that's going to be 2 on the board. And the EnVision, I mean, they're looking pretty solid so far, X.
They've been rolling down here through Gibraltar. Cool Matt will fall off, same with Buds. They want to spawn with the rest of their teammates, and we'll see. I believe, if they go to free cam, I actually thought I saw Muma still behind the enemy here. So we'll see if Muma is in this position here, as you see EnVision pushing all the way up. Numlock does have his Primal Rage, yes, and Muma is still behind them. So you see the cart getting contested there for a second. Muma on the supports here. So Fire getting very low. You're going to lose him, and now you're going to lose all progress here for EnVision.
Good stall there, right? They haven't been able to make any kind of progress with it. Muma with the kill onto Goliath, slowing things down even more so here, as they kind of just look to push them back. EnVision waiting for the opportunity to re-engage, but FNRGFE just not giving them breathing room to work with here as they DMEC Sani.
Yeah, Muma's hiding right when you take point B. There's that room to the left that has the health pack. He's actually hiding in there. And as soon as the payload crosses around the corner, he goes that high ground. He knows only one player is on it. Fire is that player for EnVision. He falls, and some teammates try and fall back. And now you see FNRGFE getting aggressive. They use their Primal Rage. They also have a Sound Barrier if they want to use it here. Clockwork using his Pulse Bomb. Buds takes out McGravy.
Numlock just got absolutely melted there from Buds. He went Primal, and he just wasn't Primal enough. Now FNRGFE continue to hold this down. 1 minute, 24 seconds left on the clock. They have a lot to work with here. So do so do EnVision going into this fight as well.
Yeah, EnVision will have both support ults, and they'll have their Dragon Blade. See if they use that Sound Barrier to engage. Jaru pulls out that Dragon Blade.
McGravy looking to get the pick. He saw that Muma was going to be above. There goes the Sound Barrier, and as a matter of fact, the Sound Barrier comes through for Boink, but it's only able to get the supports there. Try and just maybe keep them alive, and Cool Matt's going to get 2 there with the Diva self-destruct. And that will certainly slow things down for EnVision. They're still looking to contest because less than a minute remaining here. They got to go ahead and make some moves, and they're able to DMEC Cool Matt at the very least. Maybe that can be the opening that they needed here, X.
Yeah, and EnVision pushes on forward, and they leave Clockwork and Muma for FNRGFE on the payload. You see they're just putting a lot of damage on a Goliath here. They're getting Fire very low. See the self-destruct come over the top there from Cool Matt. He goes and gets himself a new mech, as Bonnie will have the Transcendence to combat that Dragon Blade that's going to come in from Jaru, and Buds now has the Tac Visor.
Let's see.
You've lost Goliath already.
Yeah, again, right? They're losing out these supports early on, and this particular hold has been way more favorable for FNRGFE. They've been getting a lot more first picks. Diva Bomb's going to fly through. Bonnie He's going to use that Transcendence there. He really didn't have, you know, much in the way of being able to move around, but that's just going to put the pressure here onto EnVision X.
Well, you lose Jaru with like 2 seconds left.
That's it.
EnVision not able to get back towards the payload, so you never actually see the Dragon Blade come out from the side of EnVision. So it was a good hold there towards the end by FNRGFE. All set up by Muma getting back towards that card at the beginning. You're able to take out the supports. You're able to just kind of build a little bit of a offensive defense there from FNRGFE.
A little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
That was built from that one. So FNRGFE are able to stop them at 2 points. As now we reset. It will be FNRGFE's turn to attack here. Let's see what they decide to run with for EnVision. Seems like we're going to be running with the 2-2-2, 2 DPS, 2 tanks, 2 supports. Maybe Jaru makes a switch here, contemplating what he wants to do. Okay, the Genji. I'm not opposed to that one, considering how good he is on the Genji. And Goliath going with the Sombra here. So the solo heals really putting a lot of work on fire if they opt to do that.
I'm more interested to see what FNRGFE
having a bit of an identity crisis there on EnVision.
Yeah, they're trying to figure some things out. It's all right. They got some time.
Yeah.
For FNRGFE, I wonder if you have Buds run the Widowmaker. We saw him run it, I believe, in the Rogue series. It was on Ilios, Buds versus AKM on the Widowmaker. That was a great matchup. So maybe you see them bring Widow into the mix. Don't expect the rest of the members to stay. Probably Clockwork on the Tracer. He'll commit to that. But
cool Matt on the Hog. Do it.
Solo tank Roadhog with the Doomfist Hanzo.
Just do it.
Solo heal Lucio. These are the things that you're used to playing around. So I want to ask you, how would you play around this type of composition? I've really watched your streams and I see the games you play, and it just pains me on the inside.
It hurts. I won't lie to you, man.
You commit to the team, though. I see you playing Reinhardt all the time.
I always just fill the gap, man.
You're a team player.
I'm a team player.
Unfortunately, I am not. I am the person.
No, you are not.
Yeah.
You're the guy who just insta-locks Tracer, and then that's it. That's all you do.
And then I blame everybody else.
Yeah, that's typical. Oh, he's just chilling there.
So we'll see. They'll actually use the Widowmaker here at the beginning, and they'll actually have Cool Matt stay on the Roadhog. So they'll run, I know, Roadhog with Winston here on offense.
Bud's looking to get a pick, but there's going to be some pressure coming through. Numlock, he's low on health. Got to be careful here not to lose him early on in this fight. Support's got to step up and get to some healing there.
Well, in the Winston against the Roadhog, right, it's a pretty dangerous situation that you could see Numlock get himself into. You see Clockwork take out McGravy at the beginning, but let's say Cool Matt lands with a few shots. It's going to force Numlock to fall all the way back, and then you can just get your Tracer right up in it and be able to take him out. Jaru takes out Muma. This will stall things out a little bit here for FNRGFE.
Buds still hasn't been able to get, much out of this rank, but at the very least, he's been putting down some damage here and there as they disengage, look to take to the high ground. See if he can get a hook there, and that hook's so diabolical. Find a target so quickly and really just displace him and ruin their defensive hold here. If they end up losing out on Jaru as well, because he's getting really close to a Dragon Blade, so he's got to be careful.
EnVision is building some ultimates. They get a Transcendence. You're about halfway to a Sound Barrier. You're going to have your Dragon Blade and Pulse Bomb here, though. We'll see how they decide to use it. For FNRGFE, you just use your Pulse Bomb. You're gonna see it's not going to connect with anybody. McGravy takes out Buds. Here comes their Transcendence. If you're FNRGFE, you know this fight's pretty much done at this point. You just got to back up, save on your ultimates.
Yeah, try not to give him a little bit more ult charge as Muma goes to re-engage, apologies, and he will go primal. Diving right into this one here and just pushing him around. And that's just to try and just displace EnVision, not to allow them to have any kind of, presence around there. But there goes the Sound Barrier dropping for EnVision.
Well, even better, you get Jaru out of the equation, and now you force the Sound Barrier out just by Muma getting nano boosted and going in deep on the opponent. So now if you're FNRGFE, you have your whole hog, you have your own Sound Barrier here. If you want to invest it, I think you just need to see Jaru pull out that Dragon Blade before you use that support ult.
Payload really close to being captured here. Vision holding it, but there goes the Sound Barrier for Boink. They're able to get 2 kills, though, onto DPS and to support there. Lose out on Boink on that fight. And they're just going to have to, back up here. I mean, really, they're continuing to just get pressed up right underneath the car wash. Bonnie will fall on that one, and while they are able to get a hook, you heard it connect there. This is really EnVision commanding the presence here on Watchpoint Gibraltar Point A.
I wonder how long FNRGFE stays with this Roadhog Winston duo. They've already switched off the Widowmaker. Buds has gone over to 76, so I wonder how long they stay with Cool Matt here. on the Roadhog, as it's not worked out thus far. Goliath, he's going to get very close here to a Transcendence. Keep everybody up, as FNRGFE can barely make it through the underpass here. It'll be a kill that comes down from Numlock on the Bonnie. Jaru with a nice deflect of the Helix Rocket right back in Buds' face. It's EnVision picking up the kills. Yeah,
and furthermore, right, look at the time of which these kills are coming through. You have less than a minute remaining, so you don't have that many pushes left if you're FNRGFE. While Muma was able to get 2 kills on that one, still, they have to reset. They have no choice. They need to wait for their teammates to come back in.
Now you see Cool Matt switch over to the D.Va, and the other thing for FNRGFE is you don't have the Zenyatta, so you don't have the luxury of having 2 support ults.
They lost Zen.
He drops before he can even use his Transcendence. Now that's going to force Fire, once he gets that sound barrier, to use it.
That has to hurt. Once again, losing out on the supports, especially when they have an ultimate so early on. But there goes the sound barrier. Fire, though, will get cleaned up right away from Buds. And now you're starting to see FNRGFE get some kills and start to make some progress with this payload. It's going to be overtime here, and they clear them out. So that will do it. They do it right at the last second. So taking out Goliath early on in that fight gave them a little bit more presence there.
And Goliath comes back in and uses his Transcendence, and I think at that moment in time, it's just like Sani, D-Mect, and maybe one other person there. Poor Goliath, he stands right on the payload. As soon as the Transcendence wears off, he just stands there, just waits to die. As now FNRGFE, you'll have your sound barrier for this next fight. You're going to have Pulse Bomb, and there's no support ults on the side of EnVision. They do have that Dragon Blade, just waiting for Jaru to pop this.
First pick onto Goliath yet again, but they are going to even the odds here, so EnVision are able to answer back, get a couple kills of their own, and Clockwork being forced into a corner here, courtesy of the Primal Rage from Numlock. They continue to dance around to the payload. Now Numlock, well, he's going to shut down Clockwork, and FNRGFE don't have many members left. There goes the D.Va Bomb. Maybe they can get a pretty big one here, take out a couple members. Numlock is going to fall, but Cool Matt already in a really bad spot, just tucked inside of that staircase here. He might get D-Mec'd in just a second, but his teammates should be coming back into the action in just a second.
Yeah, they may be able to extend this a little bit longer. You get Cool Matt on the payload. You have Clockwork there as well. Buds takes out Fire, takes out Jaru, so you're going to lose both of those players here for EnVision as the payload continue to move here. For FNRGFE, you also have a change comes in. Bonnie will go from Ana over to the Zenyatta, so you'll get that secondary support ult to sustain through some of the damage, especially when that Dragon Blade comes down, which, a minute to go. You've got to expect it soon. Maybe for the side of EnVision, you're trying to get both of your support ults plus the Dragon Blade, and then maybe force Boink to use that sound barrier a little bit early.
Yeah, and they also didn't use the D.Va Bomb on that particular play.
No Dragon Blade here.
Yeah, well, sound barrier now for FNRGFE as they're looking to put this one through, get that second point. Transcendence as well as a sound barrier at the same time for EnVision. And you'd like to see those layered on top of each other, but they're able to get the kills. But then Cool Matt, well, he's going to go ahead and turn the tides in the favor of FNRGFE. He was able to get 2 kills on that one. The question is, where is his teammates? Can they shut down a couple of these members? Jaru with the Dragon Blade, he's going to make quick work of Bonnie, while Clockwork gets the kill there onto Jaru to try and just, keep them going into this fight. But Bud's having to get away from this one here, as it will be EnVision continuing to maintain control. And now we're getting to the last few seconds, Matt.
Yeah, and FNRGFE, they pretty much used all their ultimates in the last fight. Muma getting close to his Primal Rage. That would have been all they had. It's going to be Numlock using his Primal Rage, knocking these players back from FNRGFE, as EnVision trying to hold on here, as it looks like the hold will
do it.
Happen. As it will be EnVision taking Gibraltar, so they will get a map win here.
That D.Va Bomb coming from Cool Matt could have been the opportunity that they were looking for, but there was just no one around to support at that time. So it's more of a desperate D.Va Bomb. Here's Cool Matt once again. He gets another D.Va Bomb. This was that big one as well that he ended up getting. That was a overall, EnVision, they were able to get the map win, so that kind of makes the playoff conversation a little interesting here. Every win matters.
It could be a huge map win, because you go up against Envious and FaZe Clan next, and you just really don't know how many map wins that EnVision is going to get. Obviously, they're a very talented team, but Envious and FaZe look to be, your number 1, number 2 teams in NA Contenders.
Yeah, the road doesn't get any easier here for EnVision. But for FNRGFE, well, you ended up winning this series 3-1. You put a win in the W column. You got a couple map wins to boot, and it's looking pretty good on the road to Los Angeles. Let's go ahead and send it down to the desk to go ahead and break it all down.
Thank you so much, fellas.